So I met this tech bro the other day, and he definitely dressed like a millionaire. He was working for Apple, I guess. But he kind of like leaned in and started whispering to me and saying, "Yeah, but I have this other gig and we just invested millions of dollars into Neuralink." I thought Neuralink was just a joke. He's like, nope, millions of dollars invested into Neuralink just like that. That's when I realized I was talking to people that are kind of shaping this future. So I thought I'd share a little bit more about what I'm hearing, some things going on in San Francisco. To be honest, I kind of just wanted to move here to be around more innovative minds, innovative thinking. But yeah, here are the top 10 technologies I'm looking out for. Starting with number 10 is Neuralink. So if you haven't heard of Neuralink, it's a brain-computer interface company that is using what they call just a little microchip, and they do what they say is robotic surgery, where they're gonna put you up to a machine, have this machine literally insert threads, and then connect that to a chip that will supposedly increase your productivity. To put it in a simple, more concrete way, it's basically making it faster to upload to the web, upload online, and use digital services versus typing with your thumb. So Elon Musk describes it as being a cyborg already. I mean, look at our phones that we use. Our iPhones are smart devices in our pockets all the time, every day. What's the difference between having that versus having it implanted into your brain? I know it sounds weird, but what they're doing is already testing it on animals like monkeys. They literally had a monkey go up to a computer where the computer was connected to the monkey and the monkey was playing a video game with only its mind. So if you can extrapolate that out, exponential technology, what does that look like for brain-computer interfaces where we're connected to the web through our minds? In 2030, we're looking like Neuralink would be already tested for medical purposes, for people who can't walk, for people who can't see. And then slowly you might start to see literally sci-fi scenarios where people are playing video games with their mind. Kind of wacky, but that's where we are. Basically, we are using our phones already to type, obviously with our thumbs, but that's too slow for Elon Musk. What his vision is to connect our brains to the computers, to the web, and slowly merge with artificial intelligence to augment our intelligence. So the goal is to eventually connect our minds to the web and explore digital realms to a whole different level, a whole different way of living. And a lot of it is thinking about virtual reality times 100. Not everybody likes Elon Musk, but you do kind of look at what the things he's executing and the things he's doing. You might want to think about what other technologies is he interested in. And that's another one I want to talk about, is space exploration. I mean, you have someone like Elon Musk building a starship to go to the moon, to go to Mars. It's bound to happen where people are going to load up their payloads into these starships and send them into orbit, send them to, the inner planets, the outer planets, to start colonizing and settling new worlds. So this technology didn't seem feasible until we were using what's called reusable rockets. Right now, Elon Musk is pioneering the reusable rockets, but you have someone like Jeff Bezos who's also trying to get into the reusable rockets game. And what they're doing is building an infrastructure for space. That way our generation can start using some of these technologies to build O'Neill structures or orbital societies or the new cities on the moon and Mars. For example, you see companies who are trying to 3D print rockets or launch rockets by just spinning them off into orbit. So a lot of these technologies are in development, but in 2030, we're gonna see SpaceX go to the moon. We're probably gonna see SpaceX go to Mars. We're definitely gonna see NASA's Artemis program shape up, where they're gonna send the first woman and the first person of color to land on the moon. Basketball games with 1/3 gravity. What does that look like? If you're interested in some of these topics so far, feel free to leave a comment below. Tell me what you're thinking so I can start covering some more topics you're interested in. I know some people are against rockets. They are pumping CO2 and horrible fuels into our atmosphere, but you might want to start looking into the electric propulsion field or even biofuels that are coming out. So I want to shift to another technology, which is renewable energy. So the basic types of renewable energy is wind power, solar power, hydro, the list goes on, but we're starting to see a lot more shifts towards those renewable energies that's going to change the way we consume electricity. It's not going to be those horrible chemicals and fossil fuels that we're going to be pumping out into the atmosphere. And you might wonder, who's leading this charge? And right now it does seem to be more local governments, more local communities. For example, I was just in Boston and they were talking about Massachusetts signing on to 100% Clean Act. So this is an act that would transition our state to 100% clean electricity by 2035 and clean heating and transportation by 2045. That is a little bit further into the 2030s, but it does show that there are people and there are elected officials and governments that are trying to take this thing seriously. Speaking of sustainability and speaking of nature, another thing that I'm looking out for and hearing about is biotechnology. So we are seeing that a lot of companies, especially like Google out here in California, are working on these new advancements in biotechnology. I was just on the train hearing people talk about some of the things they're working on. We're talking about extending the lifespan of a human. It's more sustainable movements, I believe, are going to start picking up because you hear about it a little bit more. Especially in the work culture, there are more people open to the idea of talking about sustainability and biotechnology and biomaterials, but this one's a little special place in my heart because when I was talking to people at MIT and Harvard, I noticed that a lot of people are taking this sustainability innovation to the extreme. We're talking algae-based 3D printing. Not only algae-based 3D printing, but 4D printing. If you think about it, algae can actually sequester carbon, and it also talks about carbon nanotubes that are going to flip architecture upside down. And then we're also talking about materials like bio-based structures or bio-based concrete, where it's like you just take some mushrooms and you make mycelium-based concrete. Is it available right now? No. But is it something people are working on? Yes. And by 2030s, I expect more people to be investing in these new technologies that are going to be incorporated into the infrastructure that we build today. Another technology to look out for the 2030s is the advanced robotics. Look at Boston Dynamics. Look at the Tesla bot coming out. We already have Amazon Alexa. We already have Siri. What's the difference between putting that into a pod that you can just talk to versus a humanoid robot that's kind of assisting in our daily tasks? Boston Dynamics made a video of it being alongside a construction worker. You have Elon Musk saying that he wants his Tesla bot to thread a needle through a piece of fabric to simulate sewing. And once you can do that, what else could a robot not do? Autonomous vehicles, everybody's talking about that too. I just tried one out. Look out for that video on my YouTube page. We're looking at a future where cars are now going to be driving themselves everywhere we go. So the urban infrastructure and the urban fabric that we live in is going to be probably pedestrians first, because cars can work around pedestrians in an autonomous world. We're going to look at a world that is a little bit more human-centered. That way we can live a little bit more freely when the autonomous vehicles can kind of work on their own and we can do the more important tasks like living. Right now we're looking at Tesla, Cruise, Waymo, Zoox, I believe, by Amazon. Look out for more AI cars to be driving themselves. That way we can be focused on a little bit more important things like living, doing more productivity things, or even just having a conversation without feeling like we're going to crash. Another technology to look out for is artificial general intelligence. Yes, AI can think faster and smarter than doctors and lawyers. We're going to see AI be able to do the handy tasks better than the humans. So when that is paired with the future of humanity, we're going to start seeing people kind of merge with AI, but also augment what the human capabilities are. It's not that people are going to be replaced by AI. It'll be more likely that the people replaced will be the ones who aren't using AI to augment their capabilities. So look out for that too. One of the last technologies I do want to talk about is quantum computing. If you just take the most basic concept of zeros and ones, which is binary, and 0 to 1, which is anything in between and almost infinite, that type of advancements in humanity is going to be what we call exponential growth. And it starts to make you think, like, what are the possibilities with all these technologies combined? Lastly, I do want to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is mixed reality. So mixed reality is another technology that's going to be coming out more mainstream now with the Meta Quest 3 out, maybe with the Apple Vision Pros coming out. If you can think about what mixed reality is, I mean, think about what Pokemon did in 2016 with Pokemon Go. That compared with Apple Vision Pros and MetaQuest 3 technology, the tech is only going to get smaller and smaller. So right now we see the goggles, which is taking into consideration our mixed reality experiences, but think about glasses, think about contacts. In the 2030s, we're probably going to see more mainstream of headsets like the Apple Vision Pros. We'll probably see the third, fourth, fifth generation come out that is a little bit more integrated with society and mainstream culture, where we're going to see the digital world start to merge more with the physical world. Is it digital physical? Are they separated? That's up for debate. You might want to see what Mark Zuckerberg is up to, but he more thinks that it's just our world, regardless if it's digital or physical. It's going to be a weird future, but I think it's going to be an optimistic one. There's going to be a lot of new things coming out. I plan on making more videos like this one, where I'm going to be updating you on what I'm hearing in San Francisco, what I'm hearing in my work in architecture and emerging tech industries, what I hear in my maker spaces that I'm involved in, some of the startup things I'm hearing. So let me know if you're interested in certain topics, what you want to hear, and what you want me to talk about. So I'll see you in the next one.